so many gurus out there, and most of these guys come out this year and all of a sudden they're like an expert, right?
You had a lucky streak there. You sold some NFTs or whatever the fuck it was, while everything was going up, and now you think you're a guru because you made 100K.
If you ask me what I learned from this, really, is to never actually build business because you want to raise money, right? Let me tell you that most investors, at least in our case, they don't know enough about your product and what customers actually want, so they should never make a decision.
Bad Toro, the podcast. No fluff, no bullshit.
All right, let's start this. First of all, Phil, before I get you to do your introduction, I'm going to pour myself a little scotch here because I fucked up the 75 hard on day 50.
Which day? Which day?
Day 50, bro. I almost fucking had it, but all this fucking traveling to Korea and the Philippines got me out. So, guys, I failed. It's okay if you fail. You just have to fucking restart it. This is where I'm at right now. So I'm not going to restart it before Dubai, obviously, for obvious reasons. But am I going to restart it after Dubai? I've got a lot of fucking shit happening after that, man. Shit. I'm going to keep you updated on that one. But as it is, Phil, cheers.
Let's hold on. I got a present here. Let me do this here as well. Hold on.
Okay, open it up.
I'll cheers to 75 hard and you'll fuck up. Hold on.
What are you opening? I've got a Glen Grant, an 18-year-old Glen Grant. And you know that 18-year-old is how I like them, right?
Well, I think we will talk about this. What do I have here? Let's see if I'm is this legal? Oh, it's 18. 18, yeah.
Okay. Hey. All right, we're matching this.
Something like this
cool.
Here.
That looks cool. Right. What is it?
All right. It's a Deer Stalker, 18 years, bottle 210 of 347. What's it?
Damn, that's a very limited fucking number, bro. That's looks
got
like
it from my good friend. So
that's a private
Cheers
stash stuff.
You get a
Cheers,
much nicer glass though. To get one of those.
Yeah, no, yours is not bad, man. All right, let's do this. Oh yeah. God damn,
yeah,
man.
I remember I did the 75 hard last year, right? And I made it until I believe day 47 or something like this. So just about the same, right? Yeah, I think that's an important stage. But you know what happened? My wife came back from Haiti. She so the Caribbean island, right? And she brought me a bottle of very nice, very rare Caribbean rum while I was on day 47.
So that's what fucked you, like the rum. You couldn't wait.
My wife fucked me. Yes.
Well,
in many ways. But she also brought me a bottle of what was it? Rum, right? And I'm telling you, I looked at the rum. I put it on the table. I was staring at it, and I just spent like 1.5 weeks with the kids. We got two sons, right? 3 and 6, right? 3 and 5 back then, and I had I think it was 10 days or so with them, right? Working out 2 times a day, working 10, 12 hours a day. And then she just came home looking pretty, put the bottle of rum on my table, and I drank it all.
Oh,
I just drank it all.
Damn, bro. Shit. It's actually it was actually the training that got me fucked this time, because first of all, the trip to Seoul was I don't know, 18 hours. So you couldn't really fit the 2 workouts in there. So yeah, and once that was off, that gave me a little bit of opening there. I just took it and I said, okay, so it's failed. No need to sort of continue the torture. And yeah, I had a few drinks. Dude, this is such a crazy fucking story how I ended up in Korea in the first place and then in the Philippines. I never planned any of this. I didn't
know you'd go there, right?
I had no idea. I had no idea. One day before I went to Seoul, I had no idea that I'll be going to South Korea, man. I'm gonna cut the long story short. I was at that event in in Turkey that you know about, the Traffic Summit event. I met these two really cool Korean dudes, and we were hanging out at the bar. It was like me, Van Oaks, Lazar, you know, all these names. You know, we were hanging out in the bar, and these two guys were like, wow, you guys are so cool. Where are you from? And I was like, I'm from Bulgaria. And they were like, oh, it's gonna be so cool if we can come to Bulgaria someday. And I was like, guys, I'm with the car, so you know, after this event, if you want to jump in the car, we'll go to Bulgaria. Right. So they came with me, stayed here for 3 days. Yeah, they came, stay here for 3 days. And next day they were like, hey, dude, you should come with us to Korea. It's going to be so cool. And I was like, sure, you know, I'll come next spring, whenever you guys got the cherry blossoms and all that. And they're like, cherry blossoms, let's go now, because there's this blockchain event that you'd be very interested in. You're going to meet so many people. We're going to introduce you to so many people. And I was like, okay, we're going tomorrow. Let me just grab a ticket. I got a ticket, went to Seoul, and because I couldn't grab a ticket on their flight, they were flying Turkish. I flew in with Lufthansa through Germany, and I turned in like 10 hours before them, and I was hanging out in Korea by myself. Okay, but then they hit me up and said, dude, our flight got delayed with 8 hours, so you know, we'll hit you up with some people in Korea so you can, you know, connect and go out, and they'll show you like have dinner or something. So I went to this dinner, met up with this crazy dude, Jay, which we had like a bromance in the 20th minute of the conversation. And he was like, man, I'm going to the Philippines the day after tomorrow. You should come with me, because there's going to be like a really cool blockchain event. So I got a ticket and went to the Philippines, man. And this is how crazy this whole fucking thing was. So yeah,
that's amazing. I think your wife really loves you, right?
Yeah. She's been very supportive the last sort of 10 days. But yeah, bro. I mean, I just came in 2 hours ago. I came in for this interview. I couldn't miss it again. I mean, we had to reschedule. You know me. I was texting you from the plane. You know that we're coming in and all that. So yeah. This is it. This is the crazy story. All right, bro. So
the chat setting savage life. That's what you live.
That's it. Metal Savages. That's what the name of my project's called, man. You know how savage I am. All right, so
I actually do know, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about this a bit later, but let's start with you, bro. Let's do let's do an intro of you. Like I want you to present yourself as you would to somebody that doesn't know you. Like, what is it that you do in terms of business, and what you do for affiliate world and the whole lot? Like, give us a little presentation.
Sure. Yeah. I'll keep it brief. If there's any questions, just ask. But I've been an online entrepreneur for about over 20 years now. Really, turned 40 this year. Got 2 kids. Got a beautiful wife who is the brain of the family, and she's a PhD economist for the United Nations. I'm very proud of her.
Wow.
We got 2 beautiful sons, 3 and 6. So the older one just started school. So that's the most important one, the most important stuff, right? Business wise, really always been an entrepreneur. So from age like 17, 18 onwards, I've always been interested in finding ways of automating businesses and like really building something for myself where I don't have to either be in a job all day or be one of these hustling entrepreneurs, right, who basically enslave themselves. So I was always looking for different models. And obviously I've had my ups and downs, and I did enslave myself. I did fail stuff like crazy. But yeah, it's been a good journey. So maybe just a couple of highlights. So what have I done? For about 10 years, I built a social enterprise. We can talk about this as well, but I'm very much for impact and like doing something good in the world. So I worked in education for about 10 years. We created a social impact venture that was awarded by the UN and a couple other players, and would basically send students around the world and make sure they learn about sustainable development and that kind of stuff, right?
Wow,
obviously
really
it started with a desire for travel, right? So let's be frank about it. It did not start only with having the world in mind and like getting people to the next level. It did start with me wanting to hang out on the beach in Costa Rica. So that's why we had our first program. I went 15 times. I spent like 2-3 years of my life there. It was amazing, right? But we did also create a lot of impact. And from that, I moved to more of like the dark side, a lot of marketing, sales. So I built a couple marketing agencies, 3 actually. And built a venture-backed startup. We raised a couple million euros. Never became a unicorn, but was one of the fastest growing companies in the German-speaking market, at least. It did fail in the end, but a lot of learnings there, crazy rides. And this actually did get me into like the world of Facebook ads and all of that, which is where I kind of still belong. And yeah, to end this here, also led me to a place where I now I host Ad World, the largest online advertising event in the world. I host Affiliate World, which you know very well, right? So I'm the guy on stage, drinking, wearing sunglasses, screaming.
God
That's
damn
kind of
right,
my thing.
man. Dude, you
Rock and roll, baby.
you have such good energy, man. Like I've never met any presenter at any event that comes even close to you, bro. Like you are my favorite presenter of all time. I can watch this, just like I can just like cut out what the guys are going to be talking about and just watch you presenting everybody coming on stage, man. It's so good. So when did this start? When did you get into the affiliate world crowd? Like when did you start this? Because I've only been to like 2 affiliate world events. Obviously the one in Barcelona where I spoke, and the one before that in Dubai where I met you for the first time. But like how long has this been going on for you?
Pretty much from the start. I'm trying to remember. I think affiliate world started maybe 6 years ago. I'm not sure, something like this.
Oh, so you've been there from the actual start of the conference?
Pretty much,
Wow.
right? So I think the second show. I think I attended the second show, and I just made a lot of new friends. You just talked about it, right? At those conferences, it's crazy. Sometimes, most of the times, you meet a lot of great people, right? And from there, it kind of snowballs. And so what happened is that I was in a place where I built a couple of businesses and also this venture-backed startup. And it was a big fuck up, right? We raised a couple million. I worked like 120 hours a week, right? I didn't do anything else. It was nuts, right?
Hold on, you raised how much?
A couple million.
Okay. That's the one that you mentioned earlier, like the one that was in the like fastest growing ones in the German talking space.
It was fast in the German kind of like marketing space, and we worked with a lot of big brands like Land Rover and Philips and others, right? But in the end, the business model didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to be. Like it happens many times, right? Life of an entrepreneur. So in the end, the company could not continue. We had like a big funding round already on paper, term sheet signed, kinda, and it never actually received the wire. It was a big fuck up, and we had to lay off like 30 people right there, and big thing. So what happened is that I tried to like get a grasp of what's going on again, and like settle in again, and like find my life and my energy again. And I looked into affiliate marketing, and so this is how I attended the show, right? And there I met a couple of people, and having maybe a bit more experience already back then than some other people there, I was asked if I would enjoy doing some interviews with people at the show, right? When people get off stage, they just speak to Phil. And this is how I started. And became great friends with the founders and like built my circles there. And yeah, that's where
it's amazing, man. This is actually what those conferences mean to me in the first place. It's about like the people that you get to meet there. It's not that much the content that fascinates me, that the people, whenever you get to meet them and network with them afterwards, you actually get to ask them all the questions that you want. So networking to me is like the biggest thing about conferences. Like it's
100%.
It's crazy. Do you have
100%.
any like, let's say you've been to all these conferences from the start, do you have like any networking advice? Because I think it's easy for people like you and me who are like super extroverted, like to fucking drink with everybody and
I'm not extroverted. You are. I'm not.
Whoa, dude! I can show some videos after this of you getting sprayed with champagne top to bottom. This is not what introverts do, bro. Like,
well, I don't. I'm just being sprayed at. I don't do anything.
Yeah. I seen you do stuff, bro. Come on. Like, so what would it be? Because there's a lot of people. I meet a lot of people that are like super technical, and they try to get into the core group. They try to hang out. But is there any you know, obviously not everybody is supposed to fit anywhere, everywhere, you know, every fucking time, for sure. But like, what would be your networking advice to people who are just going to go to a conference for the first time, let's say in Bangkok now in Affiliate World Asia? Like, what would they do in order to get into their own group and find like-minded people and get help on building whatever they're building or whatever they're doing?
I think it's actually what you just said, right? Just finding a few people who you connect with, right? You talked about bromance before, right? And obviously for an extroverted guy who is not afraid of like bear hugs and being with guys, right? That's easier. And also you drink a lot, so that makes stuff easier as well. So maybe that's my number one advice, right?
Drink a lot. Drink a lot would be number one.
But why? Why?
All
so
right,
it all
dude. No,
starts
like
with why,
this.
right?
I
So
like this.
I'm not gonna get philosophical here, right? But it does start with your why, right? So why do you do it? Do you drink because you suck and you want to end your life? That's a bad way of drinking, right? I never drink when I feel bad. I usually drink when I feel great. I feel great right now, so I'm put myself another drink. But so when
Amen to that,
alcohol,
man.
Alcohol, like some other things, basically leverage the state you're in. So when you are drinking and you're already having a good time, right? Sometimes it helps you expand on that, right? And make you having an even better time. So I'm not saying that everybody should drink. What I am saying is that if you want to network, right, meet new people, obviously it helps to just be open, right? And let go of any fear that we as humans just have, right? We always have fear. We're like dominated by fear all the time. And drinking for some people is a way to just relax, right? And open up to the world around us. So if that's your thing, that's good. Then have a drink, right? There's other ways of doing this as well, right? Either way, I think if you drop that fear and just find a way to connect with other people, that's what networking is all about, right? So that's maybe my number one thing. The second thing is that I think it's fine if you don't like 99% of people, right? I don't speak with a lot of people. I like hanging out with you. I think you're fun. I think you have a lot of knowledge. You're successful. You have a family. There's a lot of things that I can connect with, right? Because we might be in a similar phase in life, right? We have similar interests, right?
True, yeah.
Right? So find the stuff that you like with other people, and you can do this consciously or just by like looking inside of you and like just feeling it, right? And then just connect on these things that you like. You will never like everything about something, right?
Absolutely.
We like your diet. We might speak about that. I don't like your diet. That's fine.
Man, I don't like your diet. You just said that
your diet sucks.
Dude, you just said you're vegan, man. My diet sucks. Dude, you should not even be allowed on this motherfucking podcast. Like, you're the first vegan that I'm ever speaking to.
Yeah, see, as long as I look better than you
listen,
should change your diet.
We get along together on all these other points, and this is the only reason why I put up with your veganism or whatever the fuck it's called, man. Like, trust me, I try to hang out around as less vegans as possible because they might change me.
Did you say lesbian?
Less vegans. Yeah, it does sound like lesbians, man. You're right.
It does, yeah.
I try to hang around lesbians as much as possible. But yeah,
I'm see, this is one. So I'm 40 now. This is one area of life where I'm still not convinced. Anyways, let's speak about lesbians later. But talking about networking, I think this is one thing that helps a lot. Like, taking you back to the serious advice here. If you have serious advice about lesbians, do let me know. Again,
I will.
No, yeah,
I will.
Okay,
I don't,
good.
but I will if I ever do.
So, I think the important thing is really to understand, like, what is it that you stand for? What's your values? Who are you yourself, right? And then just look at like what you think is interesting in other people, right? What you like when you speak with other people. How do you connect with other people, right? And then really just don't give a fuck about the other stuff unless like veganism and eating steaks all day is a topic where you can have like an interesting conversation about, right? And that's about it. And then really, once you find like 2-3 people at a conference, like you did, right? That's all that matters, and everything else will
it.
just happen because these people know 2-3 people, and then it snowballs, right? If I go to affiliate world, like talking about champagne showers, if I go to affiliate world now, I'm not kidding you, I literally know hundreds of people, and maybe thousands know me, but I personally know hundreds, right? And if I go to a club, like in Dubai, right, where we met, right, this guy comes up to me and is like, "Dude, who are you?" I'm like, "Hi, I'm Phil." He's like, "I gotta tell you something." I was like, "Sure. I mean, I'm drunk and we're in the middle of a party, but tell me."
Go ahead.
And he's like, "I need to know who you are. Everybody here treats you like royalty." I'm like, "Well, I guess thank you. That's just because I'm like fucking dancing on stage all day. And they think they know me, right? And I've been to these events like years, and so I just know people here." But it all started with like knowing nobody, then starting to know like 1 or 2 people, and then those people introduced me to friends, and that's how it happens. You just stick to it and connect with individual people. And I guess that's how networking can be done. And it's not the "Hi, I'm Phil. I'm selling this and this. Do you want to purchase from me? Do you have connections for me?" Dude, nobody gives a fuck. So just
Absolutely.
connect with people.
Dude, like I agree with you. And you know something else? Like drinking creates stories. No, it creates stories, man. Stories that bond us together afterwards. You know, like so at the next event that I go to, I got stories with you. I got stories with everybody else that hangs out. You know, like I got stories with John Hefter. I got stories with Jason Akativ. I got stories with Van, with Lazar, with everybody. And these stories are what sort of, that's the glue behind, you know, that sort of supports these like micro groups on these events. So you got to build stories. This is how, in order to have a business with somebody, you firstly need to sort of build like a bromance, friendship sort of thing, and then it all falls in its place by, you know, by its own naturally. This is what I felt, at least, like, because to be honest with you, most of the people that go to these conferences are the people that I consider my closest friends now. It's not the people that I grew up with. It's these guys, because we're like-minded. We're doing some. They understand what I do, and
it's true.
You know,
but it's also weird, right?
Yeah,
it's weird. Like my wife thinks I have no friends because I never meet anybody here. So I live in Vienna, Austria, right? It's one of the best places to live in the world, but there's very little amount of people who think like us, right? So I meet my friends at conferences. I meet people on like podcasts, like here, right? And she's like, "Yeah, I'll meet a friend tomorrow." I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." Like I meet my friend on the morning
in Bangkok, yeah, yeah,
Bangkok, yeah.
or online,
I mean,
yeah. No,
yeah.
absolutely, bro. Like I really don't have anything like. I don't want this to sound like you know, that I'm a big deal now or something like this, and I don't hang out with the people that I grew up with, but they just don't understand what I do, man. They don't understand what I do now. And it's like people like yourself and people from the industry that, you know, I hang out and have fun with because they understand what I'm into. They understand what I'm trying to build. They understand like the problems that I'm facing. Is the people that we can talk about like how to solve some of the issues that we all have currently, like fucking iOS 14. Do you think any of my friends knows what iOS 14 did to the fucking industry? No, they were like, well, it fucked fucking Facebook up and all that, you know, like, but my friends think it only brought them like newer icons on their iPhones, and this is it. So yeah, it's like talking about these things with like-minded people that really changes the perspective of what we're doing. And that's why I feel that these guys are my real and true friends now, because we have so much more things to talk about. So yeah, definitely those, to anybody, well, any of the 3 people that are actually going to watch this, I want to tell you this once again. Try and make your way to as many industry events, whatever industry you're in. You know, it might not be e-com as us, it might be something else, but there's events where you guys go and hang out and find, this is what is going to broaden your horizons, like really hooking up with like-minded people who are going through the same thing that you're going through, and will give you open-hearted, full-hearted advice, because people that are on the same stage of life with you are going to be very open about it, like I am, like Phil is, like a lot of people on those conferences are. And you are going to get a lot more knowledge from this than just trying to figure it out everything on your own, and like just googling shit and trying to watch like these guru courses or whatever the hell you're trying to get your information from. So yeah, events are a big thing.
It's true. Let me add to that. So you're absolutely right that the content, or like the wisdom, the knowledge that people have is more often than not much more helpful than what you find with the Google search or wherever, right? But the other thing that these people have are, of course, connections, right? And this is also something that if you do that wisely, can help you a lot. So again, I'm not saying like speak to everybody and like pitch a product. Nobody's interested in that.
Nobody's interested,
right?
Yeah.
But people might be super happy to give you feedback, right? Once they understand what you do, they might or might not recommend you, right? And stuff like this. So there's a much deeper connection about that, right? So I mean, if I like I know a little bit about what you do, and if somebody's interested in anything about that, I will obviously recommend you, because we have this personal connection on top of that professional thing. And even like I have a much more personal, like a stronger personal connection with you than I have with business. I've never done business with you, right? I don't actually know how you do business. I just assume that what you do in business is great because of the personal connection. And this is so much more important.
That is so
because
true.
Also like businesses change, right? So I've shared a little bit about what I do before, and I haven't even shared what I'm working on now. We might do later, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I will do something now, and maybe in 10, 20 years, I do something different, but the personal connection is still here, right? And this is something that you can build very well at conferences, or at least kick off at conferences, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I agree 100%. It's all about the personal feelings that you have towards somebody. And that's enough to usually recommend somebody to work with, just based on the energy that you guys share, and that you know that if this guy's like this in his personal life, this is what he's going to be like in his business life. So as long as you trust them and feel the energy and vibes within like this personal sort of network part, you're happy to do that. Speaking of which, tell me what you're doing now, man. I want to understand this. I really do not know, genuinely, guys. I have no idea what Phil does beyond being the best sort of showman and intro man, and like the leader of the Affiliate World Conference. I have no idea what's his like actual business and hustle right now. We've heard a few things of what he used to do and what he's done through the years. So tell us what you do now, man.
Sure, happy to. Again, I'll keep it brief. What I really do is help people who are experts in something create a business out of that. And the brand that I'm building is called 1 million a year, because that's kind of like the sweet spot of where a lot of knowledge entrepreneurs want to hang out, right? Making $1 million a year. That's not a super big business, but it's not where most people are stuck either. So what we do is we help these people package their knowledge and then sell it as courses, as masterminds, as high ticket items. That's basically what we do. And so
Wow.
I got courses on this. We just now launched an accelerator program where we really help people who are making, let's say, low six figures, like 100K a year. So they might be freelancing, they might be helping out people. They can live from what they earn, right? They might have 1-2 helping hands, but they don't have an actual knowledge or education business. And we build it into an education business and make them scale to the first $1 million a year and maybe bigger.
So do you actually have a platform for this, or how does it work? Like how does it actually work? Do you have your own thing, or do you run it through like a third-party platform?
So we have a premium community that people can join, right? So they pay a little bit of money, and each week they jump on calls with me and their peer group, right? People who are exactly like them, who are also building their own knowledge-based businesses, right? And I train them. to build that up. That's the community that we have running already. It's still on an MVP phase. It's still very private and small, but people are like super happy. And now we're looking into scaling this. We just started this year, right? So early phase, which does mean that I put a lot of effort, a lot of my energy into it, and people get a lot of my attention, which I think is great for everybody, and I enjoyed it a lot. And now the accelerator that we launched. Based upon that community, right, which comes with their own, so it's third-party tech, right? We use tech that we bought, right, because that's not our expertise. We're not tech people, right? We run that program, so we get people in. We have trainings each and every week. We have accountability calls, right? We basically help people to really put all these puzzle pieces together to make this semi-automated business work for them. And the accelerator program is just like for people who have already reached a certain stage, we help them really scale it. So it's much more intense. It's workshops. It's basically a 12-week program where we set everything up for them. That includes the system, right? The offer, which most people overlook, right? You have to have a great offer to make this thing work nowadays. Then we build the entire flows for them. So the funnels, the emails, everything around that. And we fuel all of that with the right kind of traffic. And we set this all up in 12 weeks. That's the new accelerator program that we're building.
That's cool, man. So how many categories are you actually covering right now? Like categories in terms of like learning what? So what sort of, where are you branching out?
You mean like what we're actually kind of like teaching or implementing in the program?
Yeah. Like what kind of teachings are like, is it like Facebook ads? Is it more of like, where are you guys at?
Yeah. So the thing is like I think I mentioned before, I've been an online entrepreneur for 20 years now, right? So I've seen a lot of the shit happening. And the main problem that I see is that people are like super confused because there is so many different things that you could do, right? And like you mentioned, there's like so many gurus out there, and most of these guys, and I mean, they have just like come out this year and all of a sudden they're like an expert, right? And I've been in this for like 20 years, right? And I see the real experts, right? And I talk to real experts. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? Most people are just confused. They're buying these courses or following whatever guru. And the problem is that even if that new guru actually knows his or her shit, right? They're typically very focused on one slim thing, right? Just one tiny aspect. And even if their shit is good, which usually is not, right? They focus only on this. So what we're doing is we're building the entire system, right? So we basically got these 5 pillars, right? And the first one is really understand the system. So we're focused on these education or knowledge-based businesses, right? We don't teach e-commerce. We don't teach like how to promote your apps or anything like this, because I mean, these all were kind of similar, but they are different, right? So we focus on these kinds of businesses, right? So no matter if you teach English, right? Or you teach Facebook ads, right? Or you help people, I don't know, change their mindset or whatever you really know about. We help you like put this into a system where you have the right kind of products that actually sell online and really deliver an impact also with people who purchase it. Because I don't want to create the next guru who just doesn't know shit, right? I want to help people who really have expertise, help the world, help other people with running a good business about that. So it's the system, it's the offer, because most of these people, they don't understand how to package an offer. Right? They don't understand that if you put something like, I don't know, bottle 210 out of 347, Twitter says, ooh, that's a limited edition.
Exactly.
See, that shit works. Right?
Frankly, so let me just get this
straight. Is any different. It's just the offer, right?
You actually help them like structure their offers and what they're actually good at and teaching, and they do that through their own funnels or through their own channels and stuff like that. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's true. But we also like, I give them the entire funnel, like the flow and everything. They can copy my stuff. I know how it works. So I have profit campaigns. I just give it all to them. They just put their content in and they just start selling. I give them like Facebook creatives, everything. So it's a weird term, but it's kind of like a business in a box. But what it does require is for these people to have the knowledge, to have the expertise. I'm helping them to package it and sell it.
Okay.
But they have to have the knowledge and the expertise to actually help people.
So do they have like do you give them like a certain stamp? Like, because I think that would be cool if you sort of gave them a certificate that you hand chose to sort of work with them, because there's a lot of false prophets out there, you know, like we need to, if you had that, you know, knowing that somebody went through your platform and was approved by you to become like a teacher at whatever he's teaching, I think that would be pretty dope. Do you have anything like that?
I don't think I'm that famous.
No, you're not that famous, bro, but like it's sort of how do you call this? It's like
a certification, or like
a certification that you're not, because there's so many bullshitters out there, bro. There's so many 20-year-old kids trying to teach me how to make money. Son, whenever I was 20 years old, I was chasing fucking pussy and selling weed, you know, and this is what we used to do. You can't teach me how to fucking do business. I'm 42 years old, man. I've been around the block a few times. You have seen nothing yet, trust me. And you're there teaching people how to make money and how to like you had a lucky streak there, you know. You sold some NFTs or whatever the fuck it was, while, you know, everything was going up, and now you think you're a guru because you made 100K and you're teaching people how to live their life and do their shit. So this is what I mean. Like, there needs to be a filter, and if you are the filter to this, and you say, I am a 40-year-old entrepreneur who has built like that many businesses, and these are the people that I am sort of helping right now. I don't help just anybody, you know, I help people with real skills. That would sort of give them, you know, a badge approved by Phil, you know, that they can, you know, I think it, to me, it would definitely mean something, you know, like knowing you. And even if I don't know you, if I have like a little bit of background of where you came from and what you've done, the sole fact that you have been through so much up to this point, and you believe these guys are the shit, then to me, that would be, you know, something that it would mean a lot to me, rather than just getting up like and listening to a course of the next kid that comes along telling me how to run fucking Facebook ads, you know.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I might just do that. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, I think
it's a credibility thing, man. It's a credibility thing, and like if because, as you said, you're being modest, but by running this affiliate world conference, man, thousands of people actually know you. So you don't have to be famous. You're not like Michael Jackson. Thank God, maybe, you know, like that. Fuck, I don't know. Like I'm very old school. Whenever I punch names out, I don't know any of the popular guys right now.
Who is hip today, actually? Yeah. Okay.
But it's like the people from the industry know who you are, and you should use that, you know, because they know that you know, you're no fluff, no bullshit. You can tell right from wrong, and this would mean a lot to a lot of people that are trying to find really some course, because I've been talking about this for a while now. Like, in order for you to have like a truly good and scaling e-com business today, you really need to have like a 360 approach on everything. Like, you can't only be good at Facebook ads. You can't only be good at TikTok. You need to have it all covered. It has to be like Facebook ads. It has to be like TikTok. It has to be the marketplaces. You have to be on Amazon, Walmart. You know, you need to know how this shit fucking works. And you can't be like the one-man show as well. And if you want to learn these other things, you have to, you know, you could help people save time by recommending the right people from the industry that they should be learning from. So that's what I'm saying. Your brand or your stamp on this would mean a lot to people like me who know you, who know that. And I believe that a lot of people know you through like the whole affiliate world and ads world thing. Dude, you're like everybody fucking knows who you are. So I think that would mean a lot. You should think about that.
I will. Thank you. I mean, it actually fits quite well to something that we have on the horizon, and we're just not quite there yet. Again, this 1 million a year brand just started this year, right? We just came up with the name like in February. Still don't know if it's a good one, but we're gonna stick with it. And then we started like some first courses and so forth, and now the accelerator is starting. So it's just, you know, if you want to build something with substance, it does take a little bit of time, and that's what we're doing right now. But what we do have at the horizon is that based on this, I'm looking to also creating a program that's for 8-figure entrepreneurs, right, and building those up to from 7-figure to 8-figure. So might call it 10 million a year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And with this, obviously, you also need different depth in content and also different ways of interaction. And this fits very well with another project, another idea that I have, which is it's kind of like off topic, but it fits with providing a badge for people, right? And kind of like also forming this community of people who really are able to provide value, be it because they came through our program or just because they're awesome, right? So one of the things that we're looking into is actually, it's a bit of a crazy idea, but purchasing a castle in the south of France, right? And making it an entrepreneurial community there. So we invite people, right, to live there on site at the freaking castle with us, right? And together we build their businesses. So from an accelerator program that is mostly virtual, we morph it into an on-site incubator program, right? Where we host people for half a year or a year. And most people at this stage, they have families. So we have space. That's why a castle, not just because it sounds awesome, because it has a lot of space, right? So we have enough space to actually host the entrepreneur and his or her family, right?
Damn,
so
bro, this is a
look at the
really
whole
good
thing.
idea,
It's like
man.
it's like the most awesome co-living thing that you can imagine.
It's
Apart from like, you know that most castles, when they sell, they come with tanks of wine because many have vineyards. We've been on a shopping tour, castle shopping tour last year. My wife, my kids, and I, best times ever. Even if you don't think you will purchase a castle, go on a shopping tour. Just have Sotheby's and Christie's invite you for meetings. Turn up in your nice car and have yourself be shown around for a day and drink the wines.
Okay, here's some travel hacks for you guys. Here's some travel hacks. If you want to have a good time, dude. This is really good. This is gonna be like such a cool sort of mastermind experience to be at a castle with like-minded people, live there for a while, and just learn a lot from each other. That would be amazing. I'll definitely sign up for something like that. Seriously.
I'll see you there.
All right, man.
I'll definitely see you there.
All right, let's have a little drink here before the next question.
Cheers.
Ooh, cheers. That is, that's
cheers to 75 hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was 50 hard, and now gotta figure out when the other 25 is going to be coming. All right, so
better than 47 hard, man, like I did.
Well, all right, so my next question is, like, you spoke a little bit about it earlier, but I didn't realize whether that is the biggest or not. But what is your biggest fuck up, man? Like, what's your biggest sort of business fuck up?
Business? Okay, business. That's some private fuck ups. Let's focus on business. The biggest business fuck up. Well, there's many. I mean, there's more fuck ups than successes.
Oh yeah,
right,
dude. That's how it is. I've had more fuck ups than I've had tries, man. I've tried less times than I fucked up. You know, I fuck up without even trying.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, happens. And that's a good thing, right? I mean,
it's only fuck ups that you learn from, right? It's not success. You don't learn from fucking success. Success sometimes. In my fucking in my experience, success has been luck. I mean, I know a lot of people don't believe in luck, but I've been lucky sometimes getting into some sort of product or some shit like that, making a lot of money and thinking I'm really smart because I've done it. It's not. I was just there at the right time, you know, doing the right shit, and it happened. So the fuck ups have been teaching me the most, you know. So that's why I want to try and learn, like, what's your fuck up? How'd you deal with it? Sure. And like, how'd you come out of it?
Well, there's a couple of ones, really, right? The biggest one. I just realized I got a toothbrush here. I don't know why. I got a toothbrush in my jacket. Always be prepared.
That's nice, man.
Okay, sorry about that. So the biggest fuck up was probably when we failed with that supposedly unicorn startup, right?
Right.
This definitely wasn't like the most game-changing fuck up for me, but it was the one where I suffered probably the most because we had like big investors on board, like the IPO bosses of like a big investment bank, like London bankers and others who believed in the project, and it just didn't happen the way that we wanted it to turn out, right? So this was bad. And then like our head of sales, who actually was responsible for bringing in revenues and wasn't selling as well as he was supposed to, right? Because of several reasons, but he sued me personally for like almost $100,000 when I had to lay him off because I made a mistake firing him. We had a German company who was employed for the German company. You might understand German law is quite tough to handle sometimes, and you have a lot of responsibilities as an entrepreneur. So the way that I phrased his notice, right, was a way for him to go at court against me, and so like sued me personally. And then we had the investors like being not very happy about the way that the company turned out. So that was bad. That was really bad.
Okay, but that wasn't really the reason for the whole thing to fuck up. I mean, that was like maybe a part of the journey that helped things. So what was it? Is it just him not being able to hit the KPIs, or like what was the real reason for the whole thing? Because obviously, if bankers are not fools, if they're backing your projects, they must be really sure that you're doing something cool, innovative, and something that they'll put their backs in. So like something wasn't happening, and you mentioned that the results are not what you expected. So what would you say was the reason for that? Was it just the work that this guy was doing, or was it like
no, I would never blame like one staff for the company failing. No, we had I don't know, like 35, 40 people at that time. So it was not a massive company, but it was decent size. We definitely went out of like the seed phase and kind of like into the Series A, Series B kind of phase where we had some traction, and it was quite good. But if you ask me what I learned from this, really is to never actually build business because you want to raise money. Right. So let me explain what I mean with that. Right. So the way that we built the business was two founders, right? It was me and a good friend of mine. Right. And I was in charge of more the operation side of things, actually making sure the company is running and working, and the marketing side of things. Right. Which was two big responsibilities. He was mostly focused on investor relations, because the way that we built the company was important to get investments in so we could finance the company and keep it growing. So that was maybe 80-90% of his time went into actually investor relations. And he was good at that. He got in the money, right? Like I said, millions of euros to finance the growth of that company, right? The problem was that at many times, we made decisions in the company to satisfy the interest of investors, right? And at an early stage, this is not so much about payouts or something like this. It's about how you build the product, right? And let me tell you that most investors, at least in our case, they don't know enough about your product and what customers actually want. So they should never make a decision. We should never have made a decision based on what investors think and what investors finance. So it was a bit of a I don't know. It was a bit of a hard decision because we needed to somehow satisfy the investors because we needed the money, right? So we could keep the growth of the company. But in the end, of course, what was missing was developing closer to the market. So what we should have done instead is listening a lot closer to the market, right? And implement only what actually benefits that core product that makes customers happy. And this is how you build a sustainable company. And I think this is true across the board. It is very true for the stuff that I focus on, which is knowledge and education businesses, where you solve problems for people, you give them solutions. But it's also true for any other product, right? I mean, if I sell a freaking whiskey, right? I want to understand what people actually want in that whiskey, right? And then I can wrap it, I can package it, I can market it. But if you don't have a product that people actually enjoy, they don't have to love it, but they have to love some aspect of it. They have to enjoy the benefits of one aspect of it, right? If you don't have that, you're screwed. And that's what we really fucked up, right? We built the product based on investor demands instead of really understanding what the audience wants, right? And I could share more specifics about that company, but I think the meta level is more interesting.
No, I get you. My question here would be, so this is the first company that you've actually raised money for. Have you done that ever since, like for any other business, or are you staying away from that?
I have, but not like this. So I first really like to build my MVP. I really understand like what are the problems I want to solve. What are the benefits I can really give to people, right? Get feedback from the people. And then once I have something that is working, also selling, then I'm looking into getting people to invest into the idea in whatever way. Some more often than not, it's actually not money at this point, but it's their time, it's their knowledge, it's their network.
Right. So you're not doing any sort of pre-seed. You'd be like going for a Series A if you were ever to sort of raise money for something like. I'm just asking because I'm interested in this, because right now I'm at a level like this at the Meta Savages project, you know. So you know, we've built enough, but we are not ready with the MVP. We need funding in order to go further, and you know, there's opportunities. People are knocking on my door wanting to invest. I'm not even looking for them. They already know what I'm building, and they're looking to invest, but it's whether I should let them in now or I should let them in at a Series A and try and sort of bootstrap the whole thing until Series A. It's like you know, so I'm getting what you're saying. I don't want to get, because if we're getting people on board now, we're going to have to dilute a lot of our equity, and that puts investors, it puts investors in a position where they can be demanding and telling us what they want to do, and it's the situation that you had. So you know, I don't want to be in a situation like this. So this is actually good advice to me, and it's something to think about at this point and this stage of the business that we're building at the moment.
I think it depends on the kind of investors, really, right? Like if you have friends who understand you and who are understanding also that they take a bet and they might just lose their money because it might just not work out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, right? In our case, I think they were just hyped up, and they were thinking that the probability of everything working out is higher than it always is with a startup. Right.
Yeah, you need to have the optimism wings on there in order to get people to invest. You know, you have to build it up for them. You need to build up the hype. Nobody's gonna go like, "Hey guys, I got this idea. It might work. It might work, but I'm not too sure. But like, if it does work, you know, that doesn't really work out well. You know, you need to bring in the energy. And you're like, this shit is we're gonna crush it with this, bang, 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 and then whenever it doesn't happen, these fucking VCs are like on your neck, and is what you just said, you know, like they're like, what the fuck, man, why'd you fire this guy like this? And there's a lot of problems that come out of this.
But that's okay. But just to wrap this up, I mean, the thing is that of course you're doing your very best to make your business a success, right? But if it does fail, right, everybody should just understand what was the game we were playing, right? And sometimes we lose, sometimes we'll win. The important thing, of course, and this sounds like a stereotypical motivational quote, but the thing is, you got to get up again, understand, reflect, like what was there to learn, and then do it all over again, just in a better way. That's how you do as an entrepreneur, right?
Absolutely, and this is why, you know, even all these VCs and all the investors should be investing in people that have already fallen and gotten up a few times, you know, like because investing in these 20-year-old kids that don't know what the hell's going on, like they've got their, you know, their puppy wings on, and you know, they're all about like, oh, we're gonna make it, it's great. It doesn't work out like that every time. So if I was an investor, I would rather invest in somebody that's fallen off the horse a few times and proven that he can, you know, get up, and he's learned something. He can get up, get on the horse again and start riding, you know, because this is what I think the difference is between an entrepreneur and a guy that just can go and work somewhere, you know, like they're scared of falling off the horse. You know, I'm not scared of falling off. I've fallen off the fucking horse so many times, bro. Like I'm just waiting for it to happen again, you know, like, but I'm still building. I'm still here. I get all the lessons from all the times that I've fallen. I bring my lessons here next time, and next time I just don't fall like I fell the last time. If I'm gonna fall again, I probably will, but it's not going to be the same way that I felt the last time, you know? So that's
exactly.
you
You
learn from
will
it.
fall again for sure, but you've got like 40, 50, maybe 60 years ahead of you, right? You
Oh,
probably
whoa,
don't want
whoa,
to
whoa,
build.
whoa. That's too much, bro. 40, 50,
Oh,
60 years, dude. I'm
I'll be 100, but also I'm vegan. You're not, so I'll be 100. You'll die. I don't know.
God damn. Man. But I'll fucking have more fun than you living to 60.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that,
Dude,
but
come
we'll
on.
find out. We'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll talk in heaven. Oh no, we're not going to heaven.
Hell.
Yeah, we will talk in hell, bro. We're
You
not going
hell,
to
me
heaven.
heaven. How do we do that?
Oh, dude, yeah. You're not going to heaven. Trust me, boy. It's not all about being vegan going to heaven. All right, so let me touch up on a little bit more of a personal topic here with you.
Sure.
What are the top 3 things you got on your bucket list, man? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what is there like 3 things that you want to do before you get those wings because you're vegan and you go to heaven? By the way, dude, like I see your face right now with your haircut and everything. If you have like 2 little horns, you look so good,
Like
man.
this?
Oh yeah,
Like
dude.
this?
Dude, you got a face
Like
of a devil. I'm telling you, bro. Like I'm telling you, wings are not gonna look good on you, man. You got that
No?
look. You got that look. You're a bad boy,
Yeah.
bro. You're not. There's no wings
Yeah.
coming, man. I'm
No,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
the
sorry to
perfect
pop your
mix.
bubble, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
There's no
it's
halo.
okay.
There's no wings
I'm not
coming.
yeah, no, I'm not an angel at all.
Yeah,
But
your horns are drawing, bro.
the vegan devil, bro.
The vegan devil. All right, so tell me, what are the top 3 things on your bucket list that you haven't done yet that you really want to do, like countries you want to visit or experiences or some shit like that? What is it?
I don't really have a bucket list at this point because I've lived quite a nice life so far. But
hey, we
there's a
all
couple
have to
things.
have something to fucking look
Oh
forward
yeah,
to.
no,
You know,
it's
like
true. It's true.
it's with me
So
as well. You know, like you know what I'm scared of? Like I have these locations, like for instance, Bora Bora. I don't want to go to Bora Bora because if you go there, it's like you completed the game. There's nothing better to expect. There's nothing better to go to.
That's a good point.
So
That's
I
a
don't
very
want to
good
go
point
there.
because
I want to just like save that for, you know, so for whenever, like if I go there, it's like this, and then it's fucking, where do you go next? You know, fucking like everything else looks. So yeah, this is what I'm asking you. Like,
no, I think that's I think philosophically, right? This is very interesting, right? That sometimes we're scared of our bucket list or our goals, right? Because we are worried that we don't know what to do next. But anyway, we're rambling here, at least me. So the things on my bucket list. So let's start with the Bora Bora kind of thing. So I want to live in the Caribbean for a while, right? With my family on a beach, like stilt house or whatever. Just live in the Caribbean. I don't know why. It's just like the laptop entrepreneur kind of thing, living on the beach. It probably sucks because you get sand everywhere. But anyways, number one, right? The second thing, I want to do the castle thing, right? Just be the king of my castle.
That's cool.
Right? Like the 90s song, right? So I have a freaking castle in the south of France and just think I'm awesome, whatever. The third thing is I always wanted to have kids, but I always wanted to have 3 or 4 kids. Actually, I'm at 2 now. I'm scared, but maybe there's 3
dude, are you gonna do it? I don't know, man. Like after the second one, I'm like, you know, I always wanted to have like 3 or 4 kids, bro. But like, I'm like, do we do it now? It's like the second one is really taking everything from us, you know, all my energy and everything is gone. And if there's a third one, I'm scared now. Like from the first one to the second one, you're actually adding 100% of, you know,
it's not
the work.
It's like so the work didn't double, it tripled, right? And it's nuts. Like we're thinking about getting a bigger place, a bigger car, like a living person to help us because it's so much. It's like, whoa, okay.
Dude,
so
you know Van Oaks has 4 kids, right?
I told him like a year or 2 ago, I told him like, so I'm thinking about having number 3 or 4, and you know what, like within a millisecond he said, don't you do it. That's what he said.
Dude, Dude, Van is like, I don't know how he does it, man, but like, and Kim is the one that deserves the fucking medal, man. Like Van
Oh
does a
yeah,
lot in there as well,
of
but
course.
Kim is the one that's like with them all the time. So big up, Kim. Like
Oh
4
yeah,
kids. I don't know. My wife is gonna kill
nuts.
me at number 3, number 4. I don't know. But yeah, I'm
A friend,
with you.
a friend of mine. He had 3. He already had 3, and now they had twins.
Oh my God. What? So what? This is 5?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. This is like I can't even comprehend this. You're like it's like I'm gonna have to drink a lot more than this, man.
Yeah. Watch out.
Damn.
Sometimes alcohol is what makes babies. But anyways,
Ooh.
yeah. So,
All right, so
coming
number
back to your
1,
question,
yeah, number 1, living
So,
in the Caribbean or like a really
right.
cool beach place. Number 2, doing the castle mastermind thing, which I think is fucking phenomenal, bro. You can count me in. I can be a butler or whatever. I'll be if you're Batman, I can be your yeah.
No, I need somebody to take care of the vineyard, man.
All right, I can be that. I can be that. I got grapes in my house right now as we speak.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, they're
Nice.
from my granddad used to make wine from the grapes that are in my yard, so I still got that. I can help out with that for sure.
Nice.
Now with the 3 to 4 kids thing, you know, it's
we'll
it's a
see.
good thought. It's a good thought, but you know, I don't know. It's fuck, the third one's gonna be an accident for sure if it ever happens, man. It's not gonna be planned, bro. Like I can't imagine planning a third terrorist, you know, like
Yeah. How old are yours now?
they're exactly the same age as yours, man.
Right.
More like
Yeah.
one of them is 6 and the other one's almost 3. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And they're girls, so we're never meeting them together, bro. Otherwise, we're gonna get related. So yeah. It's like I don't want this. Like this is gonna be a thing for me. Yours are boys. That's a lot easier with my girls. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Like 2 girls, it's gonna be very tough on their fucking boyfriends. I'll tell you that. We'll see how that goes.
Savage.
I got another question for you, which is like,
Go for it.
what are the top 3 books that sort of had the biggest influence on you, and you can say that they sort of changed your life or change your perspective on things, or maybe they developed you in some way. You know, I'm trying to with 75 hard. I'm not crazy about fucking self-improvement literature. I love reading like fiction and stuff like that. But now that I started reading it because of 75 hard, I've learned so much stuff. I want to read a lot of those books. So yeah. What would be your like top 3 books that sort of changed you?
So there was one book, and I don't think it's available outside of like the German language, but it was like a German guy called Bodo Schäfer, and he talked about passive income, right? And I read it at the age of 16 or 17, right? And so I read that, and I was like, "Ooh, there is a way to make money without actually doing anything." And obviously it was this like kind of like bestseller thing, and doesn't really work the way that he put in the book, but it really changed my thinking, right? So it was about financial freedom and passive income. The other one that I read after that.
So like it's like the Rich Dad Poor Dad, the German version.
Funny you say that, because this is my number 2 book. So when you say about what changed me like early on, and this was my teenage years, right? Okay. So it was Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I read at I believe, I don't know, must be like 18 or something. I don't know when it came out. Must have been over 20 years now.
18 right? When you read this, man. What the fuck was I doing with my life, man? I read that like 2 years ago. That's sad, man. Like that is fucking sad, bro. Like I feel that I wasted my time doing just dumb shit while you guys were getting educated on how to do business, man.
See, okay, here's your 3 secrets to a successful life, Fodor. Number 1, become vegan. Number 2, fast. Number 3, make that 75 hard workout, and you will not die at 55 due to a heart attack with 5 children.
Oh shit! No, first of all, there's not gonna be 5 children. All right, you got this all wrong, man. You got this all wrong. All right, right. So number 3. So we got the German. What was the German book called again? Maybe they have it in
think
English now. Who knows?
Yeah, in English it would be something like "Your Path to Financial Freedom." Like, I know.
They
Maybe not
definitely have
something
a
I
book.
wanna.
They definitely have a book like that. Whether it's the same
Yeah,
one though, that's the question.
yeah. Never mind. I probably would read it right now, right? But back then it really changed my thinking. Like being a high school kid and like having no idea what to do, right? And thinking about whether I should go to university and whatnot. And I did study like business for like 12 years, right? And this was the decision to study business partly was also related to reading these books because I thought I want to learn about how the world of business works. The real reason was that my wife went to business school, so I just followed her because. Okay. Anyways, the official reason is that I wanted to learn more about business. And so the third book is probably, and again, it's something, because you asked me, I believe, what kind of books like changed my life, not what I would recommend to anyone or what I find most interesting now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the third one is definitely Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, right? Another very stereotypical book, right?
Yeah.
Because
I liked it.
I still like it, although now, like looking back, I see a lot of flaws in it, a lot of rambling, a lot of bullshit in there.
Right. That's what I mean, man. Like, yeah. Now that I go back to it, and I'm like, yeah, I read this. This is probably the book from what you mentioned that I read like the earliest.
Yeah.
I probably read it like, I don't know, maybe even fucking 10 years ago now. I don't know when it came out, but yeah, there's a lot of shit that's in there that's like that. You know what it reminds me of is what's his name? That dude that just recently got canceled. Ignace, what's your fucking hero's name? That dude. Tate, Andrew fucking Tate, bro. Like,
okay.
Kickboxing champion, blah blah blah. You know this whole thing that he was that Ferris was preaching at the time. You know, like he was a kickboxing champion as well. You know, like all that shit. Really reminds me of Andrew Tate, who I do not like much. I have to say, you know, he's like, you know, trying too hard to be like a tough guy, and you know, you can see through it, but. Yeah, I mean, I really did enjoy whenever it came out. There was nothing like it. So, you know, going back to this at that exact point, there was nothing like this, and it was very enlightening in various ways. Yeah. So I have to say that I know what you mean.
I mean, there's a couple of books that fall into this category where I would say they for some people, right, they have the ability to completely change their thinking and the way they look at life. And these books definitely did for me. So typically what happens, right, is that people have that within them already. And then there is just a book that enables them to surface that and think different about what they want to do with the life they were given, right? And sometimes those are bullshit books, but they just ignite that spark within you, and that's what I love them for. Like we talked about networking, and I told you that I like to look at people, and I learned that from my wife, like many other things, right? Look at people, like look at what you like in people, right? And as long as it's not completely against your values or your principles, maybe you want to ignore the rest, right? And just take what you love about something. And the same is true for books like the 4-Hour Work Week. There's a lot of shit in there. But take what helps you, right? Get to the next level or get to where you want to go. And I think these books can be great about that. And there's some like another author that writes like this is was it MG or MD DeMarco? He writes about the rat race and stuff like this. And like 90% of that book is just like blah and weird, right? But some ideas, they're just good. And once those books have changed the way that you look at the world, there's obviously a lot better literature that actually gives you knowledge that you can use. But those other books or resources or courses or like the stuff that I teach in my programs, they're only for people who already know that they want something else, right?
Have the base. So, yeah. That's cool. All right, man. We've mentioned your wife a few times now. So how'd you guys meet? Like, what was
in school? 12 years
high
of
school?
age, I fell in love. She didn't like me.
12 years?
I got fucking grit.
Oh my God, bro. You gotta tell me the story. This is
Okay.
good now. Like, I want to hear this. All right.
All right. So we're having a very open, honest conversation
Yes.
here, and I like that way.
I
there's
love it,
nothing to
man.
hide.
Like, I
So
want to, I don't
so
want to keep it just business. This is really cool. I really want to,
okay.
I really want to find out like
Okay.
what
The
happened there.
number one reason you want to look into my psyche, the number one reason I dance around stage and I drink and I'm having a fun time and making the best of my life is because I was a okay looking, fat, unpopular kid who fell in love with the most beautiful girl in school at the
That
age of 12. Well, not
what?
fat. I wasn't vegan back then.
Ah, fuck off, man. Fuck off with that vegan shit, bro. That's not what
Okay.
made you slim.
Anyways, I actually want to be vegan, but let's take this out of the conversation.
All right.
So no, in reality, what happened is I was like a skater kid, like had green hair down to here,
That's
was a bit
cool.
overweight, very cool. And Nirvana kind of kid, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, bro. I was gonna say that. Like, whatever you said, the green long hair. I was like, you were like a Nirvana skater boy.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, like growing up like in Vienna, Austria, which is not the worst place to grow up. It's a very nice place, right? But it's not a hip place, right? It's not a young place. Well, anyways. And my parents got divorced at age when I was 12. So obviously that wasn't easy for me either. So it was a weird time. And I fell in love with this most beautiful girl in high school, right? And obviously she had absolutely no interest in me. Absolute zero, like no fucks given. So imagine my choices. Me being a very persistent guy, right? I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna give up on that. So what do? What's the second best option? Well, she was how do we put that politely? Meeting other young gentlemen, right?
Oh, shit.
So I became the best friend, right? I became the best friend. So
oh my God, you got friend zone. This is like,
I got friend zone
shit. Wow.
for years. But hey, it
Oh
worked
my
out.
God.
So we had
How many years? How many years
Oh,
were you in the
years. Oh,
friend zone, bro?
years, man. Years. Like most of high school, right? Like 16, 17, something like this.
Oh, this must have been hard for you, bro.
I
Like,
was.
wow.
It was.
But you
Tough
stayed
time.
in there. You stayed in there. You kept on going. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, guys.
Thanks for putting this into a positive light here.
No, dude, it is like you motherfuckers that are watching this. This is what entrepreneurship is all about, and here it is in the personal life as well. You get that goal and you keep on hanging on there and follow your dream, and that's what happens. You get married and you have 2 and maybe 3 or 4 children. You don't know yet. It's like it's still going on. The story hasn't unfolded fully. So, wow, bro, that is a really good story. I love it.
Thank you. It's a good story with a happy ending so far. But as you said, I'm 40 now. I'm planning to be 100. So let's see what's coming up.
Wow, that's so good, man. I really love it. I really like that story. By the way, me and my wife, we met each other in high school.
I wanted to ask. You kidding me? No,
We
after
met
that, okay.
I mean, we were not like high school sweethearts. I was not like the guy that's, dude, I'm not the guy that's gonna be in the friend zone for that long. Trust me, man. Like I'm like, I mean, good on you, but I cannot. I've been into that situation, but like I couldn't be that in there for that long. So we met in high school. She was like 2 years younger than me. And I mean, we met in the hallways. We never really spoke, but we just met like about 8 years ago. We met in the club, and she was like, "Hey, are you not that Todor from that school?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." She was like, "Oh, we used to go to high school together. I was like 2 classes under you, blah blah blah." I was like, "Yeah, I actually remember, seeing you in school." And then that was one night. We exchanged like Facebooks or whatever. And then for 1 year, I was in a different relationship. She was in a different relationship. For 1 year, we had nothing. Like we had no interactions whatsoever. So 1 year later, I got out of my relationship that I was in back then. I was like, hey, let me just text that girl, see what's happening with her, So I text her like, hey, would you be open? Like, no, I actually saw her going on these what they call like these training camps in the
Okay.
mountains and shit. And then I was in a position where, you know how you, well, I don't know if you know, because like you've been with your wife since fucking 12, so you don't
Well,
know.
tell me.
You don't
Tell
know,
me.
but whenever you go back on the market, you know, you gotta, you know, slim down, get in shape, you know, you going back in the market where girls are supposed to like you and shit. So I was like, hey, I gotta start training again. So I was like, hey, can I come with you sometime and like go on one of these training camps? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Here's the fucking phone number and the address. I was like, okay, so that's not going well. You know, she's just like transferring me to the organizers of these events. I was like, okay. So then I try to be more aggressive. I was like, okay, can I see you so you can tell me what I need to bring to these camping events? And she's like, yeah, okay. You know, we can have like lunch on Thursday. And I was like, fuck, lunch is, you know, that's always a bad fucking thing. You know? If it's lunch, it means there's
You
somebody
can't drink.
waiting.
You can't
Yeah,
drink.
no.
Yeah.
Not only that, it means that somebody's waiting on her for dinner, you know, like,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
so
That's true.
yeah. So I was like just about to sort of give up on that. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, lunch on Thursday sounds great. And then she said, oh, I can do dinner on Friday. I was like, okay, all
That sounds a lot
right,
better.
yeah, that might be something. All right. So I was like, all right, let's do dinner on Friday. So I go there. We sort of hooked up. We went to this restaurant. We had this like, we sat down and we started talking and we couldn't stop talking. Like,
Nice.
I realized that the waiters are putting on the tables on the putting on the chairs on the tables and the lights were coming on. And we were just
Good.
talking.
Like in a movie.
Absolutely. So like 3 days later, she had keys to my house, and 14 days later, after this actual dinner, she was pregnant with our first daughter. So
Are you serious?
it's 14 days, bro. That was it. So that's our story, man. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you have known her for like decades, right? So,
Not really, bro. I mean, I've said hi to her in a hallway. I've not really known
Right.
her like that. That hasn't been the case. So yeah, but it's all been good. We're good. We like I'm happy with everything. We now have like 2 daughters, as I mentioned. So yeah,
congratulations. That's
that's
amazing.
it.
Yeah. I'll hook up my sons with your daughters. We can yeah.
God,
Let's
here we go.
let
That's
me know.
too early,
I'll
bro.
ping.
Too early.
I'll
Hold on.
No, it's okay. You know what? You know what? I'm not sure if I can say that here. I think I can. Okay, I will. My 6-year-old, so he just started school, right? And he came home the other day and he was like, Dad, can I tell you something? Like,
Oh shit!
like,
Hold on.
guess,
Let me pour another
tell me.
drink, man.
Can
All
I tell
right,
you
go.
something? And I was like, yeah, please do. Like, I'm happy. The man talks to me, right? And I'm like, this girl. Yes. That girl. Yes. Who's sitting next to me? Yes. She told me something today. You know, the 4-second rule, right? Shut up for 4 seconds and have them talk. He didn't say anything. So, what? Tell me. Like, told me she likes me. I'm like, well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What else did she say? Well, she actually said she loves me. He's 6, right? She loves me. Like, I'm like, oh, what did you say? I was like, nothing. Like, what are you gonna do now? I don't know. I was like, okay. So maybe it's too late for your girls
yeah.
to,
We'll see about
and
that.
our
Man.
boys,
I
but
think
yeah,
he's gonna have a lot of those. He's gonna have a lot of those.
We'll see. I'll text Jason, right? We get a yacht. We have them like have a nice candlelight dinner at night, and when they're 12.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. All right, man. Last question I got for you that I've put down here. What is the top celebrity that you like to have, like, let's say at Affiliate World, and sort of get him on stage and have him tell, you know, shit about his life or like whatever you're interested in? Who's the guy or girl that you would like to have on there that you haven't had yet? Because you've had you've had the crop, the cream
Mm.
of the crop whenever it comes to ecom, right? I mean, you had
Mm.
just about anybody. Who haven't you had?
Apart from you?
Apart from me, bro. Like you've already had me. That's history.
Uh, that's true. Okay. Let me think. So for business,
Todor the Bulgarian
absolutely,
barbarian. Remember
the
that?
barbarian.
That was good, man. That was good. That was a good intro. Yeah.
I love that. I loved your speech. That was amazing.
Thanks, man.
Um,
By the way,
so
Sharon,
after,
I spoke
yes,
to Sharon last night.
yeah.
She is
Oh, you did.
supposed
Good.
to, yeah, she's supposed to come back, and I think that they might find they might find a spot for me at Bangkok, which is going
Uh-huh.
to be not 75 hard, if you know what I mean.
No,
So
no.
Bangkok is
We yeah, no, we don't have time to talk about this here on the show now, but
no no no
we've
no no
had
no no no
quite a
no no
few
no.
Bangkok shows, and yeah, we shouldn't record that. Okay. So
No.
talking about who I would love to have on stage. I don't know. We really had I believe the biggest names already, at least at AdWorld. At Affiliate World, it's a physical event, right? So it's a bit harder to get some of the big names on the actual stage because I mean, it takes traveling and all of that. So there's a couple people left. One person who I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with is Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
I
Um,
was
and
I was sure this is gonna be one of them, man. I was 100% sure, bro. It's gonna be Gary V. Why has it been a love-hate relationship? Tell me.
I really don't like the hustle thing, but I got a chance to speak with him personally as well, and it really changed my perception of him. Right, so I really love how he makes people aware, and this is coming back to like the Tim Ferrisses and the Robert Kiyosaki's. Right, he's a guy who makes people aware of a different path, which is entrepreneurship. Right, and I don't like his garage sales and all that stuff, and whatever. Right.
But it's part of
He
his
makes
it's part of his fucking path, bro. Like yeah, he's telling a
exactly.
fucking story. So it's good. I mean, I kind of sort of enjoy that part of his story, like it's part of where he came from.
It's true, and he makes people aware of a different path, right? And I guess it's true that especially where he's coming from, and I'm European, right? He's an American who probably sees a lot of lazy people, right? We have lazy people here as well, no doubt, right? But I guess in his perception, he just needed to tell people that they need to put in the effort and hustle, and that's where this kind of branding and positioning came from, and he has turned away from that quite a bit. Anyways, I interviewed him for AdWorld as well and so forth, and he's actually a pretty cool guy, right? And yeah, I love him again for what he's doing and what he's contributing to the world of entrepreneurship, and I think it would actually be amazing to have him on stage physically as well and just hang out a couple of hours with him, have a couple of drinks with him. That would be amazing. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
So that would be like on the business side. On the personal side, it would be like philosophers actually, but that's a different thing. And I think
Like
most people at
who?
the Affiliate World.
Is
There's
there
one guy.
anyone alive from these guys?
Yeah, it was like the Buddha. Please bring me the Buddha or
Yeah.
Jesus. I want Jesus.
I want to meet Jesus right here and there.
Yeah, Jesus on stage. Since this is impossible, there's one guy who I find very fascinating. He wrote a book that supposedly is about everything in life and beyond. And well, let's not get into philosophies. His name is Ken Wilber. So if you're interested in modern day philosophy and a philosopher who is living right now, in Ken Ken Wilber, Wilber. Older gentleman by now. He is definitely a guru kind of person, but out of this world. Speaking with him will be amazing. He actually now has a course. So, by the way, in Dubai, right at the Affiliate World, I was having breakfast actually with Chasen, and as I walk out the door, there I see sitting the CEO of Mindvalley, right? So I was like, hey, I don't know you. I mean, I do know you, but you don't know me. I want to speak with you. And I'm like, I do consider myself an introvert, but I wouldn't let an opportunity like this pass, right? Talk about networking, right? It's like,
you're no introvert, bro. Trust
and
me.
he's like,
You've got
and
it all
he is
wrong.
like, oh, dude, I just want to have a coffee. Who are you, right? But we got to talk. And why do I mention this here? Because I checked Mind Valley afterwards, and they actually have a course with Ken Wilber now, which I find very interesting. So maybe we will have him on stage one day.
That's cool, man. By the way, I remember being at that breakfast with you and you coming back and saying those exactly same words. It was me, you, and Jason, bro. It was me,
I'm so
you, and
sorry.
Jason.
Absolutely.
That was like whenever you mention it right now, bro. I remember that every single word about this, and it's pretty cool that you just brought it on right now. So yeah, it was just me and you and Jason there.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah,
You're right.
cool. All right, man. So this has been really good. By the way, I want to say that I really found a lot of, I found out a lot of things about you that I didn't know before, which is really cool because, I mean, we've met, but it's always been like a properly drinking sessions where you can't say much while you're saying cheers all the time. So sure. I'm really glad we had this, bro, and I'm really looking forward if I am, because it's still not confirmed, but if I am coming to Affiliate World Asia, I'm gonna have like a good drinking session with you this time where we're gonna be able to talk a little bit more. But
please.
Thank you.
I want to speak about your family, more about your love relationship there, and we will not have steak, but we'll find a way to connect.
Yeah, we'll find a way to connect the families. We'll have an arranged wedding between your sons and my daughters. This is gonna be something. But you have to prove to me that you have the castle first. I don't want my daughters going to waste. There's gotta be some moolah behind it. I'm not just gonna give them away that easy, man. So make sure you get the castle by the time we're at Affiliate World, man.
So I got like 4 years left. That's fine.
That's it. That's at the most. All right, brother. Thank you for coming on this podcast and for the 100 and well, actually, you know what? Like my latest podcast get viewed by like 160, 170 people, but they're all from our network. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be talking about this whenever we see each other in Bangkok, God willing.
Yes.
All right, man. Hold on.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you. And I will see you in Bangkok. I know it's going to happen. Just manifest it.
I'm manifesting it all the time, bro. All right.